In the shadows of the storm, whispers speak of hurricanes not born from nature, but conjured by the hands of those in power. As the skies darken unnaturally, one cannot help but wonder if the tempest's fury is a weapon wielded by the government, controlling the chaos with a sinister precision. The roar of the wind might just be the echo of a secret unleashed, where each tempest could be the silent scream of weather manipulation gone awry. Things are about to get strange.
Storm Fury!
You can read that one.
Storm Fury!
Storm Fury!
Hello all you ghouls and goblins, welcome to Conspiracy Weird, where we talk about conspiracy theories and all things weird. I am your host Molly, and with me today, on our anniversary, is my husband Joshua.
Yo.
Sup? Happy anniversary.
Happy 13th anniversary, babe.
It's longer than 13 years, but...
13th wedding anniversary. Yes, we've been together longer, but 13th wedding anniversary.
16 years together, 13 years married.
What number do you want me to keep in my head?
16.
Okay. So 16th anniversary.
Yes.
Of being together.
16, 13. Anyways.
Anyways.
Snack time. We're here to start off the episode with snack time. What are you snacking on, Josh?
Goobers.
Because you are a goober.
I'm a goober.
Goober for goobers.
Right.
Yay. I am drinking an energy drink.
What are you snacking on?
And I have SpaghettiOs straight from the can and ice cream because I am a child.
Yep. Sorry, I got goobers in my mouth.
So today, we want to remind you to join our Patreon because we're going to start putting on mini episodes on there called Weird After Dark.
Yep.
Gonna have book clubs.
Because Molly likes to read.
A lot. And possibly tarot readings.
If you want them.
Come join.
We'll have different tiers, of course. First basic tier is going to have our most basic stuff, including just, if you want to support the show, we appreciate it. Probably just a $5 tier of, to help us continue this podcast.
And more frequently as well.
And then we'll have all the other things, snippets of other things, other extras from episodes, things that go more in depth when we get to some of these bigger episodes that are going to be just heavier content. And
put some more stuff on there that's not social media appropriate, crime scene photos, things of that nature. Yeah, so come join us
on Patreon.
Yeah.
So, what are we talking about today, Molly?
How the government controls hurricanes, especially the last couple hurricanes, especially the one that hit Asheville, North Carolina.
I hope everybody that's hearing this, if you were in that area, that you were safe.
We love you.
At this point, I hope you're safe. If you weren't safe, you're probably not listening to this episode.
And we love you. We love you. We love the area. It's beautiful. We've been there a few times. And
we hope it bounces back.
We love you guys. Josh, go on ahead.
All right. Well,
I eat my SpaghettiOs.
So, while we're going to be talking about hurricanes, it falls under the natural disaster category. And for those that are maybe super young and happen to stumble upon this podcast and don't know what a natural disaster is, it is a harmful event caused by natural phenomena that can result in the loss of life or destruction of property. It can have a very harmful impact on the community, and examples are floods, heat waves, volcanic activity, wildfires, LA going on right now, tornadoes, and hurricanes. Some of the worst in history were in 1931. There was a flood in China and it had the highest estimated death tolls of 4 million people. In 1887, Yellow River flood, and it had an estimated death toll of 2 million. 1976, Tangshan earthquake, and it was about 655,000 people died. 1970s, years are all over the place. Bola cyclone that killed about 500,000 people, and just recently in 2010, recently, that was 15 years ago. Oh my God, that was 15 years ago.
We were already a year into our dating 15 years ago.
Oh my gosh. The earthquake in Haiti in January 12th in 2010 that had an estimated death toll of about 316,000 people.
Today we are going to talk about hurricanes in specific. So what is a hurricane? It is a tropical system with winds that have reached a constant speed of 74 miles per hour or more. The eye of the storm is usually 20 to 30 miles wide. A hurricane may be over 400 miles wide.
400 miles is basically the length of Florida.
Yeah.
Like, just take the East Coast, aside from the Keys, just top to bottom, it's rough. It's a little longer, but it's about 400 miles. So imagine the size of Florida of a storm barreling through wherever you live.
Which has happened to Florida.
Which has happened to Florida countless times.
This is where we
in
live.
Our own lifetime, countless
times.
But we laugh because we made it through. But unfortunately,
I'm traumatized. Anyways,
unfortunately, a lot of people haven't. But
traumatized. The dangers of a storm can include high winds, torrential rains, tornadoes, and storm surges. There are 5 different categories of hurricanes, and this is the scale. Category 1, 75 to 95 miles per hour, some damage, minor damage to homes, and short-term power loss.
It's like a small rainstorm for Floridians.
Basically. We get those like weekly. Basically.
Not weekly.
Weekly.
It feels like a rainstorm.
Yeah. Category 2 is about 96 to 110 miles per hour. There is extensive damage, major roof damage to buildings, and near total power loss. Category 3 is 111 to 129 miles per hour. This is devastating damage. Electricity and water is unavailable for up to several weeks. This has happened to me when I was a teenager. We didn't have power or water for like almost 2 months.
When we were younger, the storms that came through, which we'll talk a little bit about later, but Katrina and such, we were
04, 05 hurricanes.
Yeah, they were ranging between like 3 to 5 in strength.
Kept going back and forth and back and forth. Yeah, I was traumatized.
I think they hit a 5 at some point.
I think so. Yeah, traumatizing to me. Category 4 is about 130 to 156 miles per hour. It's catastrophic damage, severe damage to homes with long-lasting power outages and road blockages. Category 5 is 157 or more mile per hour. That is catastrophic damage as well. High percentage of homes destroyed. Area uninhabitable for weeks or months. And I heard that they actually may be adding a Category 6 hurricane in the upcoming years, from what I've heard.
I mean, that's kind of, I don't even know if that's necessary, because by the time a 5 is coming, you better have been buckled down and ready for it.
Or out.
Or gone, because if you're not ready to tackle that type of hurricane wherever you are in, hopefully a shelter, then you really should just not be around. But after a Category 6, it's not, after Category 5, I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't know why they put more categories. So it's already so destructive that you should not be around,
Hashtag global warming.
Recently, there have been 2 major hurricanes. The first one was Hurricane Helene, which was a Category 4 at landfall. It hit on September 30th, 2024. This is considered the deadliest mainland hurricane since the 2005 Hurricane Katrina. The death toll as of late has been it was 228 people.
I think it's actually more now, because they're still finding bodies.
Oh my gosh.
And it's how many months later?
Yeah. Since September. I mean, this is currently January 2025. Happy New Year, everybody. But
it's definitely up since from when I wrote this back when the hurricane happened. That's the number at the time. And I wrote this a couple months ago. So
there's still hundreds of people missing as well. There were landslides and massive flooding as well. The historical Biltmore estate is still assessing damage after major floods that went through the area. The Biltmore estate put out a statement saying the entrance to Biltmore, located in Biltmore Village, and other low-lying areas of the property, such as the farm, experienced significant flooding and damage to the buildings. A few animals did pass away, unfortunately. The next hurricane that hit was only about a week after, on October 9th, 2024. The hurricane did go up to Category 5, and it hit the west coast near Siesta Key. The death toll is at 23, I guess, at the time of the writing. There were several deaths that took place in St. Lucie County, where we're from. And mainly, though, from tornadoes. 1.9 million customers were still without power 2 days after the hurricane. For whatever reason, we can't seem to get power lines right. After all the practice that we get
with hurricanes,
the power lines seem to go down. But
all the time.
When things are flying through the air at 157 miles per hour, it's kind of hard to, keep them up.
Our power lines got attacked by frogs and went out 2 times in one night. So
attacked by frogs. They just sat on it and then electrocuted themselves. Dumb frogs. No, not even frogs plural. Frog singular. It was one frog. He climbed back up there and fried himself again.
For a second time.
I mean, ridiculous.
Okay, so let's actually get into why we are doing this episode.
Okay.
According to certain government parties, Democrats control the weather and the government created the hurricanes.
It's so ridiculous.
According to some Republicans. I can't even.
Okay, just FYI, out there, if you're from another country, our government in the U.S.,
sucks.
Both sides are just dumb. And
I'm not
unfortunately, we have a lot of dumb people in government and have been there for a very long time and need to go bye-bye. I'm not putting any death threats out there, but, hey, we need to get them out and we need to put some better people in.
There are numerous posts on social media that push that idea, and some even going as far as claiming Democrats targeted red states with the hurricane. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, my least favorite person, one of them, even tweeted, "Climate change is the new COVID. Ask your government if the weather is manipulated or controlled. Did you ever give permission to them to do it? Are you paying for it? Of course you are." Don't even know what the heck that means, but okay. Rolling Stone reported that this one fringe belief has become so harmful that some meteorologists are getting death threats. Speaking before Milton's landfall, President Biden addressed the reckless and irresponsible and relentless promotion of disinformation and outright lies about what's going on. He also stated that it undermines the rescue efforts after Hurricane Helene. He went on to say, "Now the claims are getting more bizarre. It's beyond ridiculous. It's stupid. It just has to stop." We have Project Cirrus from 1947. It initiated in 1947. Project Cirrus was a U.S. government research project carried out by General Electric. Oh, I can't even talk right now. General Electric, GE, under contract with the U.S. military. It aimed to explore the potential of cloud seeding to influence weather patterns, particularly hurricanes. A significant event associated with Project
Cirrus
was an attempt to seed a hurricane on October 13th, 1947. The hurricane they targeted was moving out to sea and after seeding, it unexpectedly changed course and made landfall in Savannah, Georgia, leading to some controversy regarding the effectiveness and control of such experiments.
The results of Project Cirrus were inconclusive, with debates over whether the hurricane's change in path was due to the seeding or just natural variability. This event highlighted the complexity and unpredictability of weather modification. The project officially ended in 1952, but sparked discussions about ethical, scientific, and environmental implications of weather control. Richard Spinrad, an American oceanographer and government official that had served in several high-profile roles within the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, noted in 2009 that weather modification is being supported by private enterprises, indicating activities outside of NOAA's official hurricane research efforts. This highlights that such endeavors are happening independently of government funding for hurricanes.
There was also Project Storm Fury.
You can read that one.
Storm Fury.
Storm Fury.
Following the earlier...
Somebody's compensating for something. This is my project. I'm going to call it Storm Fury.
Maybe they were short like me and they're aggressive. Following the earlier Project
Cirrus,
Project Storm Fury was launched in 1962 by the U.S. government, involving the U.S. Navy and the National Weather Service, which later became part of NOAA. The primary goal was to study and attempt to weaken tropical cyclones by cloud seeding. The Storm
Fury
Project. Sorry. Got the giggles.
That should be the password to our Wi-Fi. Storm Fury!
No, we can't because
no, it's not, but that would be hilarious.
But if you want to join our Wi-Fi, it's Conspiracy Weird headquarters. The Storm Fury Project aimed to weaken hurricanes by seeding their clouds with silver iodine. Ooh.
Iodide.
Oh, iodide. Oh, I thought it was iodine. I'm like, I'm allergic!
No.
Rude! Causing super cold water to freeze. This freezing would release heat, promoting new rain bands that would weaken the hurricane's core.
Science stuff.
Science! The most notable seeding experiments were conducted on hurricanes Belua in 1963, Debbie in 1969, and Ginger in 1971. The experiment on Hurricane Debbie showed some signs of success. After seeding, the hurricane's maximum winds appeared to decrease, and its eye diameter increased, which was interpreted as a weakening effect. However, these results were not consistent across all experiments, and there were significant issues with controlling groups and data interpretation. Stop playing footsie with me, I hate feet. Sorry. He's trying to flirt with me over here.
Okay. Over time, skepticism grew about whether the changes observed after the seeding were due to the intervention or natural hurricane behavior, just as we mentioned with the last project. The difficulty in establishing a control group in such experiments made it hard to prove causation. Project Storm Fury was officially terminated in 1983. The reasons included new research suggesting that the type of clouds most conducive to seeding, those with supercooled water, were not commonly found in mature hurricanes. Advances in understanding hurricane dynamics, which made the original hypothesis seem less viable, and the ethical and environmental issues associated with manipulating the weather systems, like the government transparency on these projects, accountability for any issues associated with the projects, disruption to wildlife ecosystems, manipulation for military or political gain, chemical pollution, and so on. Fun facts!
Not so fun facts.
Not so fun facts. Hurricane Katrina remains the worst hurricane in the United States. The estimated damages exceeded $200 billion, with a B, dollars. The hurricane claimed the lives of at least 1,392 people. Sheesh.
Yeah, there's a few documentaries out there. I can throw them up on our social media for you guys to watch if you want to watch documentaries on it. Heartbreaking.
Oh, yeah.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah. That's going to be a tearjerker. The FEMA workers had to stop working in North Carolina because there were groups out there wanting to attack them.
Yep, there would be these groups of people riding around in trucks, hunting down FEMA workers trying to attack them.
Well, there was also FEMA workers stopping
because they weren't getting paid.
In.
Well, they weren't getting paid.
There's all sorts of things going on.
FEMA workers weren't getting paid for like 6-8 weeks at a time, so they're like, I'm not going to continue working if I'm not going to get paid, which is understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks, but it's understandable. So, question for you. Question time!
Questions.
Do you think that the government creates hurricanes?
No!
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 You have to be freaking stupid to believe that shit. Sorry.
Do I believe people might be scientists, maybe trying to figure out ways to help reduce the hurricanes?
Like full
maybe,
on hashtag Geostorm movie.
But do I feel like the government is causing them and somebody's there with a joystick playing, Hurricane Katrina around Florida? No, it's not the case. I don't believe so. Well, call it the skeptic in me.
Yes. Well, I would like for that to happen so that we don't die during hurricanes. I don't think it's happening.
Not anytime soon.
So, you've lived in Florida
for a while.
Half your life.
Something like that.
Because you did live in Asheville for a while, for like 6 months, and you lived in New York for like 15 years or something like that.
Yes, I did.
I've lived in Florida my whole life, so I have more experience, but what was... Well,
excuse me, maybe I should ask the question and you should answer it.
What is the worst storm you have been in?
Hurricane Katrina. And
you weren't... Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans, babe.
No, not Katrina. What was the one?
0405?
0405. Yeah.
I forgot the names.
It was Katrina.
That was not Katrina.
I'm pretty sure it was Katrina.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, boy.
You want me to Google it?
Sure. Go ahead and Google it. But anyway, in 0405, when our area got hit by like 3 storms, they were like 4 and 5, and I think 5 and 4, it like changed. But yeah, well, they all change. They start low and go high, and then they kind of teeter-totter sometimes. Sometimes they gain more strength. But you got an answer, Molly?
Matthew.
No, that was not the name.
Yes, it was.
No,
Francis, Charlie, Ivan, and Jean. Those were the
Francis, Charlie, Ivan, and Jean. So yeah. Ivan? I don't know. I was here, and it was massive. The storm.
Yeah, we lost power for like a good 6 weeks.
I've seen trees that look like they had to be at least 100 years old, uprooted, tipped over, with all the roots just everything pulled out of the ground. Like, it damaged a lot. People's roofs were gone. Just gone. Or collapsed into their houses like our next door neighbors were. I remember having to give... we brought over some soup and stuff because it was an elderly couple. We brought over some extra not leftovers, but just extra portions over to them. It was bad. It was really bad.
I don't remember which hurricane it was, but it was just me and my mom. And for some reason, my brother, my grandma weren't there for some reason. I don't remember. But I remember my mom's house. We live in Florida. My mom's house is one of the few houses with a basement in Florida.
Sand. That's everywhere.
And
hard to make a basement with sand.
And we were in the basement. Me, her, some of the dogs, not all the dogs, because some of the dogs got scared. My mom went upstairs for something. I don't remember. I wanted to go get one of my dogs. That was my favorite. So I ran upstairs to go get her.
Bella.
No, not even Bella. It was Honey.
Oh, Honey at the time. That's
yeah,
right.
It was Honey. She was afraid of storms, so she was hiding in my room, I think. So I went to go try to get her to coax her to come downstairs. My mom's like, Molly, get your ass downstairs right now! And so I ran downstairs without my dog, and I was like, I was just trying to get Honey. And she's like, get back in the basement. There's a tornado in the backyard.
Oh,
and there's a tornado in the backyard. And the basement was flooding while we were in there.
Oh, lovely.
And we heard a crash, and my mom has a fireplace at our house. Well, apparently the chimney fell to the side, slid down the roof, and crashed outside of my window. Yes. Like, I was on the second floor, and it was, like, on the first floor, but right outside my window. So my room was basically destroyed with mold and water. I was in middle school at the time, and my school hated that school. It was a Catholic private school, because it was a lot. But, hashtag trauma. But they had a counseling group of the kids that had, like, the worst destroyed houses. And I was one of them. I think my house was, like, the most destroyed. Yay! Not really, but yay. But yeah, we didn't have...
So hurricanes suck.
They suck, and they're scary, and they're traumatizing, and you can ask Josh every time, even, like, a Category 1 hurricane comes, I'm freaking out.
I make sure we have toilet paper, but I don't panic buy.
I am full, like, panic mode, hyperventilating in the corner crying, and Josh is like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Like, most of the housing, especially since these hurricanes that happened in 0405, have been updated and reinforced, and better, equipment's been used for the roof and the windows, and so if it didn't collapse then, it's most likely not collapsing now. Most likely. I mean, of course, everything.
Our building codes have gotten a lot better in Florida since then. I should know. I work in the building department.
Better drainage, better systems in place. So when big torrential rains and storms come, we're a little better able to handle it. Unlike places like Asheville, North Carolina, that are not meant for heavy rain. I mean, if anybody saw the videos, you'd see all like what looks like landslides, because literally you'd be driving on these roads and there's nothing but dirt holding the next level of the mountain up. Yeah. And it's like clay dirt. So as soon as that clay gets wet, it collapses and it becomes mud. And I mean, you saw them. They were just houses sliding down the river.
And I'll find some videos and post them on social media and Patreon
nuts.
And stuff. Didn't your sister have a mudslide in her neighborhood and they couldn't leave?
Everybody did. Everybody had muds. Everybody had slides everywhere. There was water everywhere. Like, the whole place was just an ocean, basically.
Traumatizing.
Jesus. Man. I hope you all did okay and were safe during that time, because that was nuts to watch from afar.
Yeah, those hurricanes, like, we literally moved into our house in September, and one of the hurricanes hit in October, and I remember, like, oh my god, we just bought a house! Oh my god! Why did we buy a house during hurricane season?
Yeah.
But our house is like an old, wasn't our house built in, like, the 30s or something like that?
1936.
So, it's still here.
Through all those
hurricanes, it's
Granted,
still
probably
here.
Never got directly hit, but
it's still here.
It's still here. And we got big drain ditches all around us.
Yeah, all around us. So we're good.
And we're not far from the hospital. We're not far from probably
highways,
shelter areas and the highway. So we got an okay spot.
I remember one hurricane during the 0405. We stayed for some of them and we left for some of them. My mom, she's a smart cookie, okay? She's smart. During one of the Category 5 ones, she's like, you know what? 95 and the Turnpike are going to be like bumper to bumper.
Right.
We're taking A1A.
There you go.
Right on the water, seeing the waves go crazy as hell.
Almost to the road.
Almost on the road. But Mom, we rode it all the way up. No traffic. No traffic. My mom was like, we're taking A1A.
Now, for those of you that don't understand, A1A is like 20 feet off the ocean.
It's literally...
on a normal day.
It's literally like ocean level. Like,
it practically is. Like the dock is like, it goes right off the road, and then, you know,
it's right there.
It's right there, basically.
So,
I mean, there are some areas that are a little higher, some a little lower, but it, like, come on, hurricane, you're basically, you know,
waterfront property.
Yeah, you just open the door and swim out. Like, you're that close.
We took that up as far as it would go, and I don't remember there being any traffic.
Where'd you end up?
I don't even remember. Like, one of the hurricanes, we drove up to Pennsylvania.
Dang.
I have family in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So we stopped in West Virginia to go see Aunt Anne. Mm-hmm. My great aunt.
Yep.
When she was still alive. And then we stopped there for a day or two, and then we drove up to Pennsylvania for like a week, and then we drove back. It was me, my mom, my brother, my grandma, 2 cats, and I think 3 dogs. In a minivan.
Oh my God.
And my brother and my grandma were both throwing hissy fits.
No, of course they were.
When we were about to leave. And so my mom drove up to a shelter, opened the door, and said, "Get the hell out of my car if you're going to keep talking like that. I'm not listening to this all the way up. Get out or shut your mouth." And they shut their mouth, and we left.
Love your mom.
She's from New York, so she can be a tough cookie. I love my mom. Shout out, Mom. Shout out, Katie. You're the best. I love you.
So, if you have any stories about storms, please feel free to hit us up on Twitter or X. Hit us up on Facebook. Hit us up on email. Anything. If you just want an anonymous thing, send an email and let us know. Like, we would love to hear from you.
Yes, and maybe we'll share, like, if we get storm stories.
If we get enough of them, maybe we'll put something together
on
and
Patreon. Yeah, maybe we'll share it on Patreon and do like hashtag storm stories and tag us in the post. Okay? That's it. As the controversy swirls, the truth about weather manipulation remains as unclear as the hurricane's path, leaving us to question nature's role versus human intervention. Stay safe, stay weird, y'all.
We want to thank you for tuning in. You can find us on all your favorite social platforms by searching Conspiracy Weird, posting photos and details from each episode. Please consider keeping our tummies full by donating to the Snack Fund. Donations will be given a shout out on the podcast. Special thanks to audionautics.com for the theme music. And remember, question everything.